What's going on, guys? It's the Roaring Looney here, hosted by me, Tim Barker III, and I'm here to talk about CJ Gardner-Johnson and how he's a little upset with the Lions. He's frustrated because in his first game back from injury, he's coming off the bench. So first, I'm going to read what he said, and then I'm going to play Dan Campbell's response in his press conference to what CJ said, and then I'm going to talk about it. So let's read what he said. I'm cool with it, but I mean, how can I say this? I don't want to sound like I'm selfish or an asshole, but I ain't get back early to be in no rotation. But I'm doing what I need as a team player to get my body going. But I've already been ready for almost months. And then he said something else. Let's read what the other thing he said. I didn't lose my job because I had a coverage bust. I lost my job due to injury. So respect to the guys in front of me, but the vet is back. The veteran. CJ, a.k.a. CD Deuce, is back in the building, and he's balling on defense, but he's coming off the bench. He's coming off the bench. And you know what? I'm going to talk about it before I play the Dan Campbell press conference. I think this is a bad time for somebody to be upset and a bad time for somebody to come out publicly and say they're upset with the team and they're frustrated. But I understand he's a beast. He's a competitor. He's the ultimate competitor. That's how he is. That's how he's built. So he wants to start. He wants to play every snap. That's how he is. That's how he's made. That's how he's always been. He's the ultimate trash talker. He's the ultimate beast, gritty player on the field. So he wants to play naturally. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a beast. He's an animal. He's absolutely amazing. But this is his first game back from injury. He's got to understand that. Melifonwu's been balling. He's got to understand that. He's got to earn his spot back. He lost it due to injury. Yeah, that's sad. I'm sorry. But he's got to earn it back. They ain't taking it away from Melifonwu, who's been balling. They don't just hand somebody else a starting job because they're coming back. Unless that guy that's replacing him sucks. But in this case, he doesn't suck. Melifonwu's an animal, a playmaking beast right now. We ain't taking his spot away from him. It doesn't matter how good CD Deuce is. Melifonwu is starting, and CD's coming off the bench. They'll both play. They'll both be playing. It don't matter. We know they're both going to be playing. We all know Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes don't just let anybody play. He's not going to just let him come back and instantly take Melifonwu's job. Melifonwu's earned that job the past month. He's been balling. Melifonwu's been one of our better defenders on the team for the past month, like in a long time. He's actually been very good. Dan Campbell's not just going to let CD Deuce walk in here and take his job. That's not how it goes. Dan Campbell, they don't care how much money you make on your contract. They don't care where you were drafted. If you were drafted in the top 10, they don't care. They've shown it. They do not care about any of that. All they care is about what you do on the field. So if CD Deuce or CJ Gardner-Johnson, whatever you want to call him, if he wants to play every snap, he's got to go out there and prove it. This week against the Vikings, he's got to go out there and dominate when he's on the field. And in the first round of the playoffs, if he's still not starting, he's got to dominate every snap that he's on the field if he wants to start. That's just how we roll. We don't just let players come back that have a big contract or that were drafted high or they've been good in the past. They got to earn it. They ain't going to come in and walk in and take a starter job right away, especially after coming back from a major injury. This is his first game back. It's normal. That's why I'm kind of mad that he's doing this because, like I just said, this is his first game back. He should expect that. He should know he's not going to start right away. I mean, it's against the Vikings, and it doesn't matter because we're already in the playoffs. We're pretty much locked into the 3rd seed. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but he knows how we roll. You got to earn that spot. It don't matter if you had it in the beginning of the year, you got hurt, and somebody else came in and balled out. Melifonwu balled out. So he's got to come back and earn that spot because that's how we are. That's how we're built. We got grit. We got determination. We're determined to beat everybody, and we're the grittiest team in the league, and that's why, because all our players are hungry. This should piss CJ Gardner-Johnson off, and he should dominate when he's on the field. This should make Melifonwu and want to be even better. He should know that he's got to ball out. Melifonwu's got to ball out when he's on the field. Next game, the game after, whenever, he's got to ball out if he wants to be a starter and stay a starter. So in reality, this might be a good thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing to come out publicly in the last week of the season before we're going into the playoffs and our first home playoff game in 30 years and say that you're frustrated and all that. Because everybody knows he ain't going to start right away. I love CJ Gardner-Johnson. I'm not hating or nothing. I want to re-sign him. I love him. I love that nasty, gritty mentality about him, that talking shit mentality. I love that. I've always wanted a player like that on the Lions. I mean, we kind of had Slay was outspoken, Diggs was outspoken, but not as much as this guy. CJ Gardner-Johnson's the biggest shit talker in the league, and I love that. So I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying this is a bad time for this. He should understand with the situation. He should know he's not going to come back and start right away, no matter what. And he should know that he's got to earn it. That's how we're built. You got to earn your spot. So let's listen to Dan Campbell's press conference talking about it.
Sounds like CJ's not particularly happy with what he's kind of been told about his maybe role immediately coming off injury here. So I'm just wondering how you deal with that as a coach when the news isn't what the player wants to hear. How do you keep everybody still rowing in the same direction?
Yeah, well, first of all, Deuce is a competitor. I mean, he just is. I mean, he wants to play, and he wants to play every snap, and I appreciate that. I think we all do. So, but I think between myself and AG, when those come up and like that, we're just very direct. You tell it from the get-go, and here's why. And look, Deucey's a pro at the end of the day. He wants to play. He wants to be a part of it, and doesn't mean that he has to like it, but he's going to go out there, and when he's on the field, he's going to give what he's got, and that's the most important thing. So I think as long as we're all open and direct with each other, and they know where we're coming from and we know where they're coming from, you don't have to like it, but you respect it.
So exactly, I agree with it. He's got to respect it. They both got to respect each other. Dan Campbell understands that he's not going to be happy about this. He knows that he wants to play every snap because he's a dog. That's just how he's built. He wants to play every snap, and they understand that. But everybody's just got to be respectful. They got to just go about it. CJ Gardner-Johnson's got to earn that spot back. He's got to come back and ball out. How would that make them look if they took Malifonwu's spot away and gave it to CJ Gardner-Johnson in the last week of the season? That's going to crush Malifonwu's fucking confidence. Malifonwu has been balling out. He's an animal. And he's from Syracuse. That's why I love him even more, because I'm from Syracuse. I'm from Syracuse area. So I love this guy. I've seen him in college. I've watched him many times live in action in college. I love him, and I'm glad he's finally got a chance to play. I'm so pumped for him. But anyways, that wouldn't make them look very good if they just CJ Gardner-Johnson's coming back. All right, Molly, you're on the bench. That's ruining his confidence. He's been balling out. There's no reason to take away his spot from him right now. He's balling. CJ Gardner-Johnson's got to accept that, and he's just got to sit on the bench and come off the bench and play his heart out every time he's on the field. And who knows, maybe Malifonwu will have a couple bad games and CD will be balling, and then CD takes the starting job. That's how it goes in the NFL. That's how it is, especially with our team. The best players are going to play no matter what. They don't care where you're from. They don't care how much you make on your contract. They don't care where you were drafted. If you ain't the best player on the field at that time, you ain't going to be starting. You ain't going to be playing if you suck. You might be coming off the bench, but you ain't going to be starting. So he's got to earn that. Go check out my merch. I just dropped merch. The link's in the description. I got some shirts. I got some sweatshirts. I got some hoodies. I got all that. Like this video. Comment what you think about this situation. Are you mad that CD's coming out and saying this right before the playoffs? Do you not care? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to me. Turn post notifications on if you love the Lions. I'm out.
For number 9. Holy cow, now you know why he's so explosive.